Hi guys, back again. Another coffee break video. Yeah, so Bruce Lee. This was a game that was mentioned on Facebook recently. Someone said, "What game would you like to see remade?" And loads of people put this one. Not know why, but I think they just obviously they just like the game, but they just want to see it remade with maybe updated graphics or more levels or something. I don't know. But anyway, it just sparked an idea, and it was also mentioned in on Lemon 64. There's a thread that says games which are basically good but could do with like a graphics update, and people put suggestions in all left, right, side. Some people get a bit they get a bit precious about past games and stuff. Say no, you don't need to change those, but they'll happily suggest another game. Um, which is always bizarre. But anyway, yeah. So debates ensue, and they go around ad infinitum on the. So anyway, but Bruce Lee, yeah. So for some people, I mean, I missed this game first. I was a bit late to the 64. This came out in 1984. Datasoft. I think Ron J. Fortier did everything: graphics, sound, all the coding. I think this was ported from the Atari. I found out this recently. It was ported from the Atari 800, I think, and they do some really weird stuff with the sprites for the main character. That they don't use sprite pointers. They actually copy in the sprite data every third frame or something. And it's just like, okay, that's interesting. So we'll just play this through a little bit so you get the idea what it looks like. So yeah, so 1984. Obviously this is all ported from the Atari, and so its look is like the Atari essentially. You've got these couple of other characters. These again. You got a protagonist and antagonist. So it's like you got this green like sumo. I think it was called Yamo, I think, or something like that. And the idea is you go around collecting lanterns. I knew people who were just obsessed with this game. And this game, the way it was written, didn't work on a lot of. I don't know if it was certain models of 64 or in certain emulators. There was always a problem with it. I think it was just the way it was coded. But yeah, so you get the look at. I think he's just jumping on like these little red platforms. It's just I don't know if it's some kind of fortress or something. I think I don't know what the story is. Like I said, I never really played this game. I was late to the 64, so. But yeah, so you got these like ladders and stuff, and you jump around and you keep going back and forward between screens and stuff. I think some like there are walls which I think it's the black, which are walls that sometimes I think they can be removed or something if you collect certain things or certain sections of them. And we've got a bit of character animation going here as well, and that speeds up and slows down or whatever. You've got a little like I don't know if a laser pulses or something. Yeah, see, it's like a little section of wall removed there and stuff like that. But yeah, you get the general idea anyway. But yeah, I think you can also make the two other characters fight one another. Or at least you can. Yeah. See, I think that the ninja with its wooden sword is attacking, but sometimes they just get stuck in these strange positions and they don't do anything. But yeah, weird, eh? Okay, yeah. So anyway, this sparked a whole debate on what a modern remake would look like, and spoke to a few other people and they've come up with their own ideas and stuff. And anyway, I thought I'll just come up with something of my own in like coffee break moments. I thought I'll just do a thing. No promises of a game. It was just a little bit of a coffee break moment just to see what I could do. Because I've always thought the main character looks a bit funky for me. Always did. I don't know why they designed him like that, but it's just when his standing look with that one eye, it just looks a bit weird. And then when he looks the other way, I think like he's got two eyes on a weird angle. It's like he's looking skywards almost or something. But yeah. Anyway, a lot of people love this game. It's one of their favourite games of like being of all time on the 64. It's there's a lot of debate as to the colours chosen for Bruce, whether yellow, whether it was to do with Game of Death or something else. So I don't know. People wonder why there was like a sumo character, given it's supposed to be in China and not Japan and all this lot. But anyway, all sorts of debate around this game. But there were two fan-made like sequels to this because there was never an official sequel. Datasoft basically went bankrupt, I think. So they never did anything after this first game, even though they wanted to. Datasoft at the time decided no to the developers. Developers wanted to, but so there could have been a Bruce Lee 2, but it never happened. Only a fan version, I think, about 2015 or something, and whatever it was. And then there's Return of Fury, who I was speaking to the guy who wrote that on social media recently. Because I didn't know he made a comment, and I didn't realise it was him who wrote the Return of Fury, the third one. If you must, I think he's planning on another one. So anyway, I did a reworked version of Bruce, just as a mock-up test, sort of coffee break moment, and then yeah, this is where it sparked off other people whining about stuff, and there's no need for that. You can just touch up the original. It only takes 2 minutes. All that stuff, and they're the same people who complained about reworking graphics for Bubble Bobble and stuff. So you know, they're all biggest hypocrites. But anyway, enough of that. So yeah, so you see how it goes, and you can get a gauge of what the game's like by if you've never seen this game before. Jumping around platforms and climbing things, and the enemies just spawning randomly on each screen. Yeah, and then you can mysteriously just reappear outside again. Well, I didn't see that before. Little animation there on the little whatever that is. Yeah. So okay. Anyway. So based on one of these outdoor scenes, anyway, I just did a little mock-up. I'll just bring it in, and I just redid the main characters. There's no promise of the game, like I say. It was just purely for a bit of a coffee break moment on a reimagined look for the game. So anyway, here we go. So yeah, as you can see, I just took some elements from the original. I just basically just updated it a little bit. So these characters here I've just changed slightly. Put some snowy mountains in the back. The background colour is not the final. This is just still almost I would say a work in progress. But I was looking at different like temple designs on Google. I just like fantasy art, temple designs and stuff. So I mocked up this after looking at about 10 or different 20, because there's tons, absolutely tons. So, and I've nicknamed this like the Bell Temple. So, the idea was on these little like things which are hanging down here, not flags so much, but there would be some like Mandarin Chinese writing on these, probably saying death or something like that. But yeah, you can see that like the redesigned Bruce sprite and the Yamo sprite, which looks more like a sumo now. So you can imagine if they were fighting it out. I mean, it could be just, you could use this just as a kung fu fighting game, like Kung Fu type game, really. Nothing fancy, just a simple beat 'em up rather than a platform action game. It could go both ways. Like I said, it's just purely an idea. So yeah, and the clouds moving maybe at the top. I'd probably put a colour split like below the mountains, just change the colour slightly, maybe have some like trees in the background or something, and then colour split again maybe. I think the thing was that the blue works, the contrast against these sprites with them being with the black outlines. You'd have to have another colour probably somewhere in the background here. Different, maybe like a wall colour behind this section maybe. So I could finish it off, like I say, and just put like if it was inside a fortress, maybe put another colour behind here. Maybe use the lightest grey as well, because I'm only using, this is just multicolour character mode. I was started in bitmap. I did start designing obviously these creature things in bitmap mode, and then I just converted them across. But there's a lot you could do. I mean, everybody has got their own spin on things and take on things, but let's put the animated flames, because I figure it'd be a place of worship sort of thing. So this bell temple, but but obviously any monks have disappeared, and now we've got two people ready to have a fight by the look of it. So, but yeah, it's just it's just imagination runs wild, doesn't it? What you can do and stuff. You may have some like ripple on these hanging like flags or whatever you want to call them. Like a little bit of a ripple, to say a bit of breeze, wind, stuff like that. But yeah, it's just one of these. It may turn into something, it may not. I don't know. I mean, what is the demand for it? There's a lot of people mentioned it, like I say, but I don't know. It's just one of these. I'll put it on the back burner. It could happen. You could do a flick screen cartridge game easily. But it's just one of those, whether I got time or not to do something like this. It's I've got other projects and I want to get done before anything that I start on this, something like this. It's I'm not saying not. I mean, if it was in bitmap mode, I mean, obviously you could go to town on these. You could do like a Pig's Quest type backgrounds and stuff, and then you could have these a little bit more fancy embellishment on all of this. I'd probably put like a high wall in behind here, I think, and then maybe could have some green foliage maybe wrapping around these pillars as well. You could put it into disrepair, couldn't you, rather than it all looking so clinical. You could do all sorts, but yeah, just let your imagination run wild. What you can do with it all, and whether you put any sampled speech in for the punch sounds and hitting sounds and screaming and all that lot, who knows? You could do. It's like I say, when you got a blank slate, anything's possible in it. So, but anyway, this was just like a little coffee break moment, just to say, yeah, this was my spin on it. No promises of anything. Leave your comments and let me know your thoughts if something like this would interest anyone. Some people, I know it would, because it does. It's still a favourite of many people. They'd love to see something. So who knows? It may happen in the future. It might be a collaborative effort. I don't know whether I'd be bothered doing all the coding for it and just do the graphics. I don't know. But yeah, anyway, I'll leave that one for another day. But that was it. It was just this little my little two-pennathon, a possible Bruce Lee type game. But anyway, whatever you're doing, enjoy the rest of your day. I'll catch you in another video.